follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Mitch Moss along with Pauly Howard, live downtown Las Vegas, Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy show lined up today. Guests on the program, David Purdum from ESPN. Betting scandals galore across the country. That's in 30 minutes. Steve Wiss, Best Bets in Soccer. Ed Barkowitz as well, who was a longtime Philadelphia sports writer, transitioned into teaching a sports betting class at Rowan University, going to be in studio. A lot to talk about with him at that point. We'll have top bottom today, meaning the best and the worst teams ATS and with totals in college basketball and the NBA. First pick overall in the NFL draft odds. Bizarre movement after what happened last night, but now it kind of corrected itself earlier today. And Pauly, I think we need to start a little bit here on the program because last night in college basketball, the finishes to some of those games, like simultaneously, the late games, it was an adrenaline rush, man. I had Arkansas money line at the same time, Oklahoma +3. And for most of that second half, certainly in the Arkansas game, it was going to be a no doubter, right? A rocking chair on both of them. Then it just completely got haywire. And within a span of like seconds, I thought I was going to lose both of them. Mm-hmm. And Texas probably, how did Texas not cover 4.5?
Yeah.
Oh, mama, does that suck?
That got crazy. It was fantastic with the finish, Kentucky with the kiss. And then they get the block late to hang on, and a tough loss for Oklahoma. And around the same time, you had St. John's hanging on to beat Butler, as well as that game was nip and tuck, and also coming down to the wire with the number. Right. Where it was 7 and down to 5.5 in the landing spot there. So it was a great night of action. You had some upsets again, what Vandy was able to do. And then and Boise takes out Utah State.
Good call by
problem.
You. Yeah. You're all over the Mountain West here this week. I will say, in the early slate of games last night, the shot by Gillespie for Maryland is one of many reasons why I could never coach college basketball. And going back to like my high school days when I played, I also coached like some kids who were two years below me in a 3-on-3 tournament, and we had practices leading up to this thing. There were, hundreds of teams participating from all over the region, and we were doing the old Princeton, the cuts, the back screens, trying to get open layups in practice, like it was working in theory, and they listened to me. The game started, playing at 21, completely out the window. I called a timeout like 2 points in. I'm like, guys, what am I watching? This isn't anything that we practice. This is all crap. The same thing continued. They were getting buried. I took another timeout when they were down like 10-2, and they still never listened. And I sat on the chair the rest of the game. Go ahead, do whatever you want. And at that point, I'm like, what is happening here? But later on then, watching these teams like around 2010, I think, 2011 in college basketball is where it really got bad. Always down by 2, players across the land would settle for a stupid 3-point shot with a guy in their face. Like, what are you doing? You don't need that shot. It's idiotic.
Yeah.
And there's no way the coach would draw that up.
That's a great point by you, because I know we asked Lon Kruger that very question, who was awesome out of timeouts and great with X's and O's, about why all of a sudden would it be a clogged toilet offense, or the kid would seemingly go, because there's no way you're drawing that up. You're right. Why would the kid go rogue? And the kid would go rogue. Or something would happen, just I'm going to be the hero. I'm going to shoot a 3, even though we're down, or even sometimes only down 1.
15 dribbles. I'm taking this shot.
And a contested jumper instead of driving when you can get a call and rush the rack.
It's such low IQ basketball. Why did Gillespie take the shot with 5 seconds on the clock?
Yeah, it's right in front of him.
Why?
I don't know.
You can't. You have a clear path if you can get by that defender. And he was much better last night, by the way, shooting free throws than anything else in the game. What was he doing? I would lose my mind. Thank God I did not tail others who were on Maryland last night, and they lost the game like that. Other people reached out and said there's no way they were going to lose. Had it gone overtime, that's easier said than done. But that kind of crap there's no place for that. Yeah. I hate that.
I can't believe the kid makes it, though, as well.
Well, I understand that part, yeah.
How about it doesn't even come close to the total? I mean, that started right when we were getting off the air. And you said, look at the in-play over, or at least would you consider that? And it was, because the total was 150. And a lot like Michigan, Nebraska as well. So another huge win for Sparty and a tough one for Maryland. And you're right, what's the kid thinking? Are we done with Wake Forest now? You can't lose a game like that. Get Wake off the bubble. Yeah. Again, some of these teams, and they lose at home as a big favorite to Virginia, and an excellent job by BYU. Man, are they hot. In a bad spot, they go to Tempe and take out Arizona State. They score 90-plus points again. And they're in position where they could run the table. And who knows? They could go from in a span of 2 weeks from last four into like a 5 or 6 seed.
That's where
if they
I'm
keep
at,
this
right?
up.
Like some of these teams now, the way it's trending, like the bracket matrix, which they combine 115 different bracketologists with their seeding projections, right? As of this morning, I don't think most of them are updated, but Texas A&M's on the 2 line. Well, that's not going to happen. How is Texas A&M going to be a 2 seed at this point?
Another tough loss,
They've lost 3 straight. Mm-hmm. They close at Florida, Auburn, at LSU. They're 20th in net. They're 6-6 in quad 1. They're not going to be a 2 seed. Meanwhile, like BYU, they've recently been on the 8-9 line. You might be right, Paul. Their seed ceiling might be in the 4-5 range. Like if they were to somehow run the table in the regular season, then make the Big 12 title game, they're going to be as hot as any team in the country, man. Mm-hmm. And I'll give you another one. St. John's creeped up on the 3 line, and their average seed position is 3.46 per every bracketologist that does this. So they finish with Seton Hall at home and at Marquette. They are 17th in net, unfortunately for them, and 3-4 in quad 1. That does not reek of a team that could land on a 2 line, but would it be possible if they were to beat those 2 teams, then win the Big East championship, and then they have a bunch of these other teams lose multiple games in front of them?
Yeah. I hope they don't do this, but everyone talks about the eye test, and it goes back to college football, and I hate it. But if the committee will use that, and Dallin Cuff mentioned it yesterday, certainly Drake passes the eye test. Indiana State last year should have been in. But when you evaluate these teams from power conferences, and especially St. John's as well, you have a good win, but you also have horrible losses. And how will they manage that and look at that from a seeding standpoint, or last 4 in, first 4 out? And definitely St. John's could be a 2 or a 3 that they pass the eye test, considering what their record is, how they've hammered good opponents, how they're playing right now, and they blew some of their games that they lost. So I hate that they say that, but again, if you're going to use that in that room, what happens as well? And also Cuff mentioned, this wasn't even on my radar, they won last night, but SMU's accomplished nothing. There's nothing on that resume either.
They have no meat on the
bone.
So
it's absolutely. So this is going to be a bizarre selection Sunday, and how this is going to play out. And from a seeding standpoint, too, you're right, because all these SEC teams are going to play one another. And then you also got teams struggling down the stretch like A&M and others. And then Vandy gets the big win. And so it's going to be fascinating to watch in the next week and a half.
I think Duke is a really, really good basketball team. The numbers tell you that they might be the best team in the entire country. And they are locked into a 1 seed, according to those who do this. They're 6-3 in quad 1 games. Uh-huh. Houston is 3rd in the net. They have 1 more win in quad 1, and the Big 12 is, simply put, much better than the ACC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think if Duke lands a 1 seed, which, again, they're going to deserve it because they're blowing all these teams out, but they do get the benefit of the doubt a lot. That's just historically speaking. That's happened for as long as I've been alive. Houston should probably also, if they run the table, be on the 1 line, and I would take them. Sorry, that means that an SEC team is going to be out. But I don't think that you can deny Houston a 1 seed if they do not have another loss from now until Selection Sunday. I don't know how you do that.
Yep. It's a good league. 8-9 teams getting in, absolutely.
I was surprised by this. Florida has only played 9 quad 1 games. 9. They're 5-4. Some of these other SEC teams, Auburn's played 17. They've won 15 of them. Bama's played 15. They've won 10. Kentucky has played 17 quad 1 games. They have 8 losses, but that also means that they have 9 wins. They're also 14th in net. So Florida has played some of the lower competition, to date anyway, in the SEC.
What a performance by Auburn. That was fantastic. That blew my mind that they just toyed with Old Miss the whole game. And anytime they want a basket, just go down low and it's stealing. Also, I found it interesting. For multiple segments, they had Barkley on the broadcast. Obviously, the Auburn connection. He says, we must do a better job giving the smaller schools a chance to compete. All right. Immediately changed the subject.
Did they really?
Ravage. Yep. He also went on for 5 minutes about Buc-ee's, too. Which is fast. We'll get to later as well.
He went on a rant about the Buc-ee's gas station /
He's never. They said, I go all the time. I've never been inside. They said, why? He goes, the one here in Auburn is crazy. There's always 100 people there. He goes, I go and pump my gas, but I want to go in. It's always a zoo.
It's one of the ultimate. It's like bigger than the Mall of America, I guess.
I know. 100 gas pumps, whatever. Everyone out there knows more than I do. I've never been there, but I just look at the pictures and on the website. 100 gas pumps. The food's supposed to be great. It's huge inside. All the souvenirs, whatever. He goes, I've never been inside. Every time I pull up, there's 100 people there.
I have to be honest. I'm pretty fascinated by it.
I am too.
Yeah,
I got to go now. Based on the word of mouth, and this how can this possibly live up to the hype?
Well, there's no way. I mean, again, you would basically, because there isn't one close to Las Vegas. You would almost have to plan like a mini vacation around Buc-ee's to go and check out a gas station.
Well, I'll do it.
Oh, that you would.
I'm sold, right?
Forget going to Mexico or Hawaii. Yeah, you'll go to Buc-ee's.
It's one of the great mysteries in life, though. How can it be this popular? What's there that's so good?
Well, people say the food that they make, like the beef jerky, I guess, phenomenal.
Are you waiting 2 hours for a chicken sandwich?
Well, I doubt it because I'm going to guess that it's pretty efficient. Well, right? How would it not be?
I don't know if there's 100, 150 people in there.
Yeah, but have you seen how big it is?
Yeah, you're right about that.
It's bigger than the MGM Grand.
Yeah, all right. I thought that was awesome. He goes, we put one here down the street. People love it. I go all the time, but I've never been inside. Because there's so many damn people.
No, Broom's higher than $3 now to win the Win Award.
Yep. How about that movement? That's crazy. All right. Great job, Adam Burke. MLB betting guides out. Picks, Cy Young Awards, MVP, win totals, team previews, advanced metrics, sharp betting angles, your ultimate playbook for the season. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today. $9.99. Get your copy of the guide. Everything that's up there every single day. College hoops picks, Wes Reynolds with golf, Nigel with soccer, vsin.com/subscribe, NBA prop analyzer, vsin.com/subscribe.
Tonight's a tough test for the Lakers at home. I do have a bet on the game. Tell you about that. And how many points do you need to bet the Titanic? It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
It's a short card tonight in the NBA, but we do have a couple of really solid matchups. The marquee one later on, Timberwolves taking on the Lakers. This opened up Lakers. First number I saw was around 5.5. It's up to 6.5 now, has been pretty much all day. And the total opened 224. DK right now sitting at 229. So a 5-point move on the total. I did make a bet on the overnights. And it was a player prop. It was Anthony Edwards, and here's the reason why. Kyrie Irving went for 35 against the Lakers on Tuesday night. Luka, LeBron, Austin Reeves, they will have a tough time against elite guards, I think, from here on out. Edwards' prop, when it opened up last night, was 26.5. He's questionable for the game, so there's a chance this could be a voided ticket. However, if he plays, it tells me he's going to be absolutely good to go, and defensively, I think that's how you want to attack the Lakers pretty much every game from a player prop standpoint.
Okay, and it's the same number for Luka, which I like under, as his player prop has gone under every single game but one. As, again, trying to fit in, deferring more, getting his teammates involved, and I love what they're doing where everyone eats and spreading it around, right? Balanced attack, which I love. The old man's been great. Luka chipping in. Reeves has been sensational. Hachimura as well. And then I got Vincent and others, Vanderbilt, that can knock down a three. Wild that Connect hardly plays anymore.
He doesn't even get minutes.
I know, but that's still balanced attack. You can throw. It's a fourth meeting. It's 2-1 Minnesota. You can throw it out, based on the trades, and you have one of the best NBA players now traded from Dallas to the Lakers. But I think it's a little high. You're right. The fact that Dallas got so many open looks in that game, and I still think it's real that the Lakers' number one defense going back the last 16 games. But it's a lot of points here. First things first with Ant. Minnesota been a big disappointment, even though they're 32-27. But I want to see also how the Lakers treat it in Reddick as well, because you got the back-to-back. You play the Clippers tomorrow as well.
That's right.
On national TV. So, great matchup. But again, follow the money. Look at the lines, because they'll tell you based on the movement what's going on with Ant. But I agree with the 5-point move on the over.
A little bit of money here as well. Follow that money, Pauly. On the Magic. Warriors last night, they were 5.5 at some spots, down to 4.5 now at several books across the country. Total is up a tick to 212.5. Dubs are 6-1 since acquiring Jimmy Butler. You pointed this out earlier in the week. 5-1 on them to win the division. It's down to 4-1 now. Probably still worth maybe a little bit of a bet because of their schedule compared to the Lakers. Mm-hmm. Their net rating in those 7 games since they got Butler is plus 17. It's only behind Cleveland. Side note, Cleveland's net rating in that time plus 23.1. Absurd. Also, Golden State offensive rating is 121.4, 5th overall. Defensive rating, 104.4, 2nd overall since they got Butler. Here's what you have to love about Jimmy. He has been a team-first player, more of a facilitator. In those 7 games, he is averaging 6 rebounds and 5.4 assists. So I bet also Jimmy Butler to have 5+ rebounds and 5+ assists tonight.
Okay.
And I got it at plus 130.
Yep. They've been great. I will say, look at the competition, but I don't want any part of Orlando, how bad they've been. And I know I love Cleveland, but to get beat by 40 at home, maybe that's your angle where you come back and they're ticked off.
I can expand on this here in a second.
Sure, okay. But 29-31, and they're in first place.
I know.
What a fiasco this division is. But to think it was Mosley, what a coaching job, coach of the year, guys in, guys out, and they were winning games. And then Paulo comes back, and then they've stunk, and then it's been some horrendous basketball they played, and they are pathetic offensively.
Yep. So here are their wins this month alone for Orlando. They won at Sacramento by 29 points. Okay, that's pretty impressive. They beat the Spurs by 1. They beat Charlotte. They won in Atlanta, and they won at Washington. Some of those teams are the bottom feeders of the entire league. Their losses in the month of February by 14 points at Utah. They lost in a close one at the Warriors. Yep. They lost by 22 at Denver.
Didn't score 100 in Golden State yet.
That's right. They got beat by the Hawks in a revenge game. They lost against Memphis only by 1, but then they lost by 40 to Cleveland. Those are some horrific losses, and there's like one okay win. That's it. That's the blowout that they had at Sacramento.
Yeah. Which was a weird result. I know. I can't get there. And again, it's a lot about this new life and new Curry now, that he has a guy and a star to lean on to help him out. And it's been... he's become a different player in terms of big shot in the arm, too.
It's like a B-12 shot for him.
That's right.
Did you do anything with the Nuggets and the Bucks tonight?
Yeah, I like Denver. I don't think Milwaukee's going to be able to get stops. And the loss of Portis, and I know I question the competition as well, but these guys have won 10 of 11. And you got Gordon, who went off in the last game. Joker with 19 assists. Ridiculous. I just don't think Milwaukee can get stops. Now, history, I would look at Freak props. He has been awesome. Averaging 31 and 12, but also been awesome head-to-head when he goes against Joker.
Yep.
So that's one angle to look at with Freak. But I wouldn't be scared off the total, even though it's high at where are we at now? 240 and change. I just think Denver's going to get whatever they want offensively, and how well Joker's playing and the others. That I don't think Milwaukee's good enough defensively to be able to shut them down against a hot Denver team.
Yeah, so we can go like last month here, right? Since January 25th, the Bucks lost at home to the Clippers. They are 7-8 since that date overall. Their offensive rating is 19th in the league. Defensively, they are 17th overall in that time frame. Their net rating is negative 3.9, 21st in the league. Meanwhile, so you have a bad defensive team, recent form here, going up against a team that has just been smoking hot on offense. Denver since the last month, since January 31st. 10-1 overall with the record. Offensive rating is 126, first overall. Middle of the pack defensive rating and 4th overall, and net rating at plus 11.8. I know the Bucks are at home, and like you said, Freak's numbers, they stick out like a sore thumb against Joker and the Nuggets. But if you just go team versus team here, talent versus talent, the Nuggets, I think, are clearly better than this team right now that the Bucks have tried out there on the floor.
Yep, I'm with you. I take the money line there. Don't mess around. Go $1.60 as well.
I'm surprised on this game.
Mm-hmm.
Hornets at the Mavericks. This got as high as 11 last night. And the total was in the 222.5 range. Well, buyback now on Charlotte. I see one offshore's down to 8.5. National sportsbooks are at 9.5. So people are betting on this team. Their net rating since January 27th is negative 15.9. The next closest is Washington at negative 8.9. I mean, not even in the same ballpark. The Hornets are minus 16.7 since February 1st, minus 22.3 since February 25th, and Since losing 129 to 115 at Denver 4 games ago, their net rating is negative 35.3. We are talking historically bad. No joke. Numbers don't lie. The current 3-game run is the worst any team has ever played in the NBA.
Right. So to answer your question, it's not enough. I wouldn't take the. I disagree with the people that took the points. Maybe it's based on Washington and Powell questionable. But when you lose 3 games combined by 131 points and set the all-time record, I don't want any part of you. And the fact that Kyrie and Clay can go off, no. I mean, you got to show a pulse first. I mean, to sit there and say, I'm going to take 10. How about you? Can you keep it within 30?
I know.
Let's start there. And it's not like the Mavs are a joke. Still a playoff team.
Yeah, still a pretty good basketball team.
And the Pelican game's tough, too. Beal's questionable for the Suns, which maybe could help them out. But, we've killed the Suns, who are now, 4 games back of the 10 seed. That they're 4 games under, 3 games back of the 10 seed in sack. They did hang in there and blew that game against Memphis, which was 151 to 149 in overtime. But it's just all these guys are gone. And how about Windhorst saying, I don't want any part of Booker?
I know.
How about that comment?
Yeah, they were talking about on one of their latest podcasts. They were talking about the Suns' future, like short term this year, then what's going to happen next year. The comment was, "I would not touch Devin Booker." I had to rewind it. I'm like, did he really just say that?
Yeah, he said trade Booker and trade Durant and blow it up and start over again, which they're going to have to do, and they're going to finish the season under 500.
What do we not know about Devin Booker?
I don't know. He's got the goods though. That is a strong comment.
Very much so.
Yeah, but they know the season's over. They're not catching sack, and Durant he's still acting like a professional, but ticked off what happened and how they treated him and did we'll chop you, keep it quiet. Only Pelinka can keep a secret. Join us for the ultimate Follow the Money experience. Ever wonder what we're like beyond the booth? Now your chance to find out. Grab the owner's suite, your big boy, VIP cabana, Circa Stadium swim. Spend the day with us, catching all the sports action, sweating out your bets poolside. We'll do shots. We'll do whatever you want. Pick our brains on favorite plays of the day. Relive your favorite Follow the Money moments. One of a kind. VIP experience. Love how they nailed it with the character, especially with the grays on the side, what you said, with you as well. And I need more muscles. VSiN Beyond the Booth experience. First come, first serve. Dates are limited. VSiN.com/Beyond the Booth. Reserve your day today. Incredible response and reaction. We love you all. 99% of you. And here's look at this. This is your Say Schwartzy. And Nish is getting royalties. This is your view and setup. Look at this. Your own bathroom, your own server, fit 20 people in there. You got 3 TVs inside. You got everything on the big screen outside. We're going to play blackjack in the corner. There's kiosk as well. Come on, let's eat.
It's the best pool in Las Vegas. If you would somehow be able to transport this pool and put it at any property in, I don't care, Fontainebleau, Mandalay Bay, Cosmo, you name the Bellagio, it's the best pool anywhere in Las Vegas. And that view is of all the games, too, that are going to be going on. David Purdum, a lot to hit with him coming up next. A lot of sports betting scandals have popped up on the radar over the last couple of days, and this is why legal sports betting is a good thing.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Wild times we live in, man. A lot to get into right now with David Purdum. Does a great job covering gambling at ESPN, ESPN.com. He joins us now on the Progressive guest line. David, good afternoon today. Thanks for the time. How are you?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you guys?
Doing really well.
Good, sir.
I loved the lead paragraph of one of your stories this week so much. I want to read it to the audience here, and then you can follow up with what happened next. But here's how your story started, one of them anyway, on ESPN.com this week. On a chilly Wednesday evening in Atlantic City, New Jersey, 4 bettors sat in a restaurant booth inside a casino on the boardwalk. Their table full of fried food and fountain drinks. It was not Matt Humans. March Madness was tipping off, but that's not why they were there. Their plan was to bet on a fixed NBA game. That's hook, line, and sinker right there. Tell the audience. There's a lot to the story, obviously, but then it involves Jontay Porter. What happened next?
Yeah, that was the Jontay Porter scene in Atlantic City when the co-conspirators met up there at a casino on the boardwalk, and they had a bag of $65,000 in cash with them. And this is all according to the federal documents that are in the court public purview. And their plan was to go bet on the March 22nd Sacramento Kings-Toronto Raptors game. Porter had told them that he was going to remove himself from the game early and that they should hit the unders heavy. At the time when those guys are sitting there at the At the restaurant table, one of the guys decides to pull out his phone and actually takes a selfie. Got the guys in the background eating their food. He's kind of smiling wryly at at his phone, and the feds got a hold of that picture, and it's inside the complaint. It is remarkable to me. If you guys all went for a guy's trip to Atlantic City, maybe you take a selfie. But if you're there to bet on a fixed game or a fixed player, don't take the selfie.
Incredible. It's but oh man. So now is Porter looking at 4 years in prison?
Yeah, he has pleaded guilty. He was among the first of the conspirators to plead guilty. He's looking at about 4 years in prison from what the prosecutors are estimating. Maybe he gets a little less if they get because he's cooperating. But that sentencing is going to happen in mid-May. So
what about the other individuals? And also, is it 9 games? Is it more? They didn't stop at Porter. Did they have their hands in the cookie jar with other college programs?
So there are 4 guys that have been named and 1 co-conspirator that has not been named. 2 of those guys have pled guilty already. 2 of those guys are in plea negotiations, and then you have Porter. The 5th guy is a guy named Shane Hennon, and last time I was on the show, we talked about him getting arrested in the Las Vegas airport while he was trying to get out of town. The feds say they have evidence that he has been part of millions of dollars worth of fraudulent sports bets on games. And he is a known poker player, sports bettor in Vegas. He has a Pittsburgh, Philadelphia background where he was betting large amounts over there, according to Sports Illustrated reporting, betting large amounts at the Bet Rivers Casino there in Pittsburgh for quite a while. In fact, the sportsbook director over there told Sports Illustrated, your guy's friend Pat Forty does a great job, that Shane Hennon was their biggest bettor for the longest time. And my reporting shows that some of the sports books, both offshore and Las Vegas, are familiar with Hennon. They knew who he was and some of his partners and some of the betting accounts associated with him. Well, those betting accounts had been betting on some of those suspicious games involving college basketball that we've talked about, dating back to last season with Temple UAB, all the way through this year. We've had 4 more schools be named under investigation: North Carolina A&T, Eastern Michigan, Mississippi Valley State, and then just yesterday, the University of New Orleans.
It's also interesting to note that it appears they went after some of the worst teams in college basketball as to not. People would say, no, they wouldn't sound the alarms. I'm just betting against them because they're like 5-23 or one of the worst teams.
Yeah, the teams that they've targeted are those lower mid-major teams, real small schools. But it shows that they just weren't betting against bad teams because of the numbers that they were betting. As you guys know, some of these bets were placed on the first half point spread in games that would close. The first half point spread would close almost higher than the full game point spread. And they just kept betting it and betting it. And that's one of those red flags that when bookmakers see that, they think something's up here.
So I would assume then, based on what you said about Shane, obviously their biggest bettor that they reported, over the years anyway, he was allowed to get down maybe much bigger limits than normal bettors, obviously. But how much are they going to give him on a first half bet that involves some of these teams that we're talking about here?
Well, I mean, I think that they, limits vary where they go, but it certainly wasn't just betting at one sports book.
Sure.
He had accounts offshore in Vegas, probably across the nation, where he had the ability to move large amounts of money. May have been only 5,000 here, 5,000 there, but he was able to get down enough money to make it worthwhile for him, right, to do that.
I can't believe some books.
Allegedly, I should say.
Sorry, yeah. Some of them he showed the slips, though. I can't believe a guy's getting down 60,000 on a Big South game or 70,000 on a first half. I can't believe that. That's nuts to me.
That's remarkable to me too. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Maybe he was playing in part of the, in the pits, playing on some table games, and had racked up some VIP points where they would allow him to place larger wagers than most people would be allowed to. But that was surprising to me as well.
Yeah. Is Fresno State separate from this?
Yes, Fresno State, our understanding, 3 players one was booted off the team. 2 players were held out last week against Air Force. There is an NCAA investigation over there and an internal investigation. And our understanding is that's based on player props, that some of those players that have been suspended and removed from the team were actually betting on player props involving themselves and their own games.
So how does that work then? It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Explain this. Our guest is David Purdum, does a great job covering sports betting for ESPN. There is no legal sports betting. I can, probably put 2 and 2 together here, but no legal sports betting in the state of California. Were these players getting down with bookies, offshore books? Were they telling people to go bet it in other states? What were they doing?
My understanding is that the players were playing on daily fantasy sites that offer prop betting, kind of a similar aspect of prop betting, where you can bet more or less on a player's rebounds and points. Additionally, into some traditional sports books from associates that were named, there was an increase in interest, of notable interest at some of the major offshore sports books on these guys' prop bets. These are, guys I had never heard of. But Fresno State mid-tier players, suddenly their prop bets were getting more money than usual, and so that kind of triggered some suspicion.
Are we going to get to the point, David, somewhere down the line where either books do not offer player props anymore in college games, or they only offer like overs on the player prop? So if you want to bet on a player prop like any Fresno State game, for example, which is just insane that you would offer some of these players, but you can only go like over 8.5, for example. There are no unders available.
Well, that's what happened in the NBA, right? When after the Jontay Porter, their reaction was any guys on 2-way contracts coming up playing halfway in G League, halfway in the NBA, you're not going to be allowed to bet under on their points, rebounds, their props. NCAA certainly wants all props on college players to be eliminated. Several states have gone that far, and it is kind of head scratching. Like, why are we offering prop betting on these kids that nobody's ever heard of? And it just doesn't make a lot of sense. It almost feels like it's almost incentivizing some sort of corruption.
Incredible reporting. Great to talk to you. Appreciate the time, and a great job when you had Shane getting arrested at the airport a while back as well.
Thank you, guys. I always enjoy visiting with you.
Thanks, David.
Wow.
What a week.
Yes. He bet $155,000 on a first half. I went to the Instagram. Sugar Shane wins. There's $300,000 bet on Duke. He's betting Big South games for like $70,000. He's an alleged poker.
That's one at a time.
Yeah.
So not even spreading it around. Just one book taking $70,000 on Big South.
There's a $155,000 first half bet. Alleged poker cheat. Selling coke outside of a Wendy's. DUIs. Bomb threats. Got arrested at the airport. Where are you going with $10,000? Columbia. Dental work. The UAB Temple game opened 2.5, closed 8. Temple lost by 28. The other thing, like Pat Forty, incredible job as well. Pat Forty, Sports Illustrated. This could be a lot more programs because they don't have to give a reason why a guy's kicked off the team. New Orleans, 4 guys gone. What's going on in Fresno? Like, sure. Okay, he's out, so kicked off the team, gone, whatever. Like, if you don't do digging, you don't know. And if you put 2, it could have happened earlier in the season. Could have. Okay, well, he was up to shenanigans.
And this is why I said before David even popped on, this is why legal sports betting's a good thing, right? They're catching this stuff for the most part anyway.
Yeah, what was going on with the first halves, and crazy, right? That these guys were able, forget about Porter, it extended to college, Eastern Michigan, Temple, Mississippi Valley State, and the list goes on. A&T.
Wild, man. Win-lose up next. Gene Hackman passed away. One of the best actors ever. My favorite sports movie of all time. We'll discuss that coming up here on VSiN.
Last night? Wow, winning. Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser! Pauly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
Real deal in the regular season. Can they do it come playoff time? Jets win again. 11 wins in a row. What a story going on in Winnipeg. NBA favorites 8-1 straight up.
Good night for moneyline parlays.
Yep. Sixers, Knicks under 232.5 to 227.5. Pistons plus 170. They've won 8 in a row, took out the Celtics no problem. College hoops, UConn, Georgetown over, 140 up to 144, 93-79. Georgetown has led by double digits 5 times on the road in conference games and lost.
It's pretty hard to do.
What's going on?
I think some of those games they led in the first half, but honestly, it doesn't matter. I mean, to get up to leads like that.
Yeah. Huge win for Vandy. Beat A&M plus 330, and Virginia takes out Wake plus 260. And a big ticket. Is it going to cash? Is it? Knapp was 70-1 to be your first-round leader. He shot a 59 today. What a performance. Subscribe, be part of the team, vsin.com. Our radio and podcast friends, you always want to see these tweets and videos at Pauly Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. We'll put you on. You sent this in. What? The guy hit the Greyhound parlay?
Yes. This is from New Zealand. Shout out New Zealand. $30.
Yeah.
It paid more than $700,000.
Oh.
So I'm guessing this is like a pick 6, whatever, but it was a 7, I guess, leg parlay at the Greyhound track. He was listening yesterday in New Zealand. This is not his ticket. Somebody that he knows. So that paid $700 and whatever it was, $1,000 on a $30 wager. Greyhounds can pay out that much?
Yeah, I can't believe it. I bet on one of those races before.
I've been in the dog tracks before.
Yeah, have you? Wow, that's nuts. Great job. We're a big team here. Send it in. We'll put you on. We asked after Mitch's great weekend, what's your best hit? Michael Sachs. His wife was on vacation. He had $50 in free play. This is Huff and Puff. Shauna likes this game. You got the piggies on the bottom, and you got the big bad wolf on top. And then you get the bonus, and then you want to be able to build. You don't want straw houses because they'll blow it down. You got to build the mansions, right? And then the wolf, and then he blows it over. And then you see it, peekaboo, top right. It says grand. That's the jackpot. He won $17,000 on Huff and Puff.
Playing $50.
Yeah, $50 free play. Yeah,
okay.
They're all over the place. They're a very popular game, but you got to get the bonus, and then you got to build that house. Get rid of the straw. You got to build that sucker. Get that mansion, and you get the big bucks. Phenomenal. Lose some. College hoops. South Florida +2 to -3. Lost by 2. Texas +5.5 to +2.5. Couldn't get the money in overtime. Huge win for Arkansas. Couple lose some here. You got the dog chilling in the corner, right? On the couch and looking at his brother. Oh, no. The bacon's on the TV, on the big screen. He goes, you dope. How do you fall for this? And the dog jumps up on the entertainment center and he's licking the TV. It's not real bacon. It's fake. It's just on TV, buddy. Look at him. He goes, got you every time. He's laughing at him, chilling on the couch. The other guy, you fool. Come on. How do you get caught like this again?
How many examples have we had of this?
I know.
20, 30?
Right, I know. But never where it's one guy's called, cool, and collected. He knows it's a scam.
Oh, yeah.
And the other guy jumps right up on the entertainment center licking the screen.
No, he's not getting duped by the big screen. There's no way.
Yeah, that's awesome. Look at this here where you got the pups. Got the dog. The Frenchie. It's got the puppies on the side. They're coming out. Oh, easy. You got the puppies on the side going for a walk. And
Puppy Duna.
yeah, right. The big fella. You look, it goes too fast here. And then
He bucks.
Yeah, no good. Yeah, right. But it's creative. That's not bad. But you got to slow down, big fella, right? Oh, God. Always a good mix up there on Instagram. Nothing slows down. Always have golf, the Masters coming up, playoffs, NFL draft, March Madness. Get in now, vsin.com/subscribe. The MLB betting guide is out. Burke killed it. $9.99 every morning. Get the email from Bill 80. Every pick, every host, every guest. Don't slow down because NFL's over. vsin.com/subscribe. I didn't know this was a hot take. Gene Hackman passed away, 95 years old. You got to have Hoosiers' top 5 sports movie. If you don't have, you can have it number 1, sure. But to me, it's got to be even 3. Now, it was ranked number 4 behind Raging Bull. There's number 3, Raging Bull and Rocky with the American Film Institute. Hoosiers is on. I can't believe that turned out to be a hot take. I tweeted that earlier today. Some people, no way. Hoosiers is a good movie.
It's the best sports movie I've ever watched.
Yeah, I got
people are saying it's no good.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they're complete fools then.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I don't. So if you say that movie's not a good sports movie, I automatically do not trust your opinion on anything to do with TV shows or movies.
I agree.
It's exceptional.
Yes.
And his role as Norman Dale is all-time good.
I agree.
Because Gene Hackman, it was impossible for him to be bad in any movie.
Yeah.
And whenever you saw that he was going to be in a movie, you knew that it had a chance of being pretty damn good. I'll tell you this.
Yep. He thought it would hurt his career when he did it. And turned out to be just a phenomenal picture.
So good.
Yeah.
I get chills every time I watch it. What might be more difficult than getting into a conversation about best sports movies is actually ranking Gene Hackman's best movies of all time.
Oh, God.
That's incredibly difficult. I tried doing it earlier today. Top 5 for a lot of people, very, very tough. But for him, I was going back and forth on X with a couple of people, and somebody made a good point. Like, Unforgiven is fantastic. Might not be in his top 5. Mississippi Burning.
French Connection.
Hunt
for Red. Is he in Hunt for Red October?
No, it's Crimson Tide.
Crimson Tide.
To me,
that's it, right.
To me, is probably number 2 or number 3 with Denzel Washington. The writing, the acting, and the execution and the drama in that movie was electric.
He's awesome in Get Shorty.
He's very good in Get Shorty.
Harry.
He could play multiple, like he wasn't the same type.
Great range.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Get Shorty's very good.
Yeah, you pick your feet, huh? You pick your feet. Great French Connection.
I'll say this
such
too.
a good movie, French Connection.
The Firm with Tom Cruise. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Obviously, very popular book.
Yeah.
Turned out the movie was actually damn good because you're going to have Cruise and also Hackman going at it back and forth. I think it's actually pretty underrated. But he was in Behind Enemy Lines. That was with Owen Wilson. Pretty good. Enemy of the State he was in. I thought that was solid with Will Smith. But overall, the resume is fantastic. And to me, again, I would say this.
Yellow Cake, not even top 5. Come on.
Oh, Royal Tenenbaums, by the way.
Oh, sorry. Good.
But I'm a huge Wes Anderson guy.
Yeah.
I think his directing chops are awesome. But here would be the list to me. Tell me, what am I missing? If you want to have a conversation about best sports movies of all time, Hoosiers has to be in the conversation. You're going to say Slapshot.
Field of Dreams. Rocky.
No, Field of Dreams is not on the list.
Oh, you're lost on this.
Field of Dreams is not close to Major League, nor is it close to Bull Durham.
Oh, boy. Come on, man.
Hoop Dreams has to be on the list.
Yeah.
Hoop Dreams, fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Rocky, Raging Bull,
yeah,
and you got to have Caddyshack. For what that movie was like, way ahead of its time.
Yeah,
it's
on the list. Yeah,
we argue on this. I did not care for Rodney Dangerfield's character. I thought Ted Knight was amazing in the movie.
You guys got it? Did you put it in, you guys? You got DiBiase in there though.
What a great character he was.
God. Oh, he nailed it.
Yeah, but
wait. I can't believe it. You had a great relationship with your dad.
Yeah.
Field of Dreams is awesome for that perspective, and also I love Dangerfield in Caddyshack.
I like Dangerfield with almost everything that he did. But not in Caddyshack. I thought he brought the movie down. Actually, everybody else was great. No, Field of Dreams is cheesy.
Oh, no.
That's the best I can say about the movie.
Damn it.
And it doesn't hit home with me at all. And I think that people are faking it, actually, quite honestly, when they see how special the movie is.
Oh, no, don't do that. Don't go there.
I really do. Yeah,
You're
because
going there?
it's not in this. It's not even close. Not even close as a baseball movie to Major League or Bull Durham.
Baseball, Ray. Baseball.
Look, I like the feel-good, goosebumpy kind of sports movies.
Did you like Natural?
Good, solid, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is it, by the way, that boxing movies are the best?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. 8 Men Out, loved it.
Great movie.
8 Men Out was good.
Great movie. Diggstown, sports betting.
Wow.
Very good boxing movie. They're trying to fix the fights. I also thought, like, the whole continuation of Rocky, like, growing up in that age range, I love Rocky 4. Drago.
Russia? Is that Russia? Drago, yeah. If he dies, he dies.
Yeah, right. But then it continued, and they got into Creed with Michael B. Jordan. I thought the Creed installments
hell
were
of a comeback.
Very good.
It was leaking oil. They turned that thing around.
Sure they did. Yeah. Look, I know. In fact, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I was going to say I'm in the minority in Field of Dreams. I don't think I am. I don't think I'm in the minority.
You're in the minority.
I don't think I am.
You want to find out?
I think
you're in the minority.
I think people will respond to that.
Yeah.
It's not a hot take. They're going to say, Mitch, I totally agree.
No, hot take. Way outside. People are going to say you're off.
Do you think it's better than Major League and Bull Durham? It's not.
They're completely different movies, though.
No, I know. I mean,
it's...
Yeah. I guess it's like comparing Raging Bull to Rocky. Which one's better?
Oh, I love Raging Bull.
Very good.
It's a tough list.
One of De Niro's best.
Rudy? Is that cheesy?
Horrible.
Really?
Unwatchable.
Okay.
Yeah. Best bets this weekend in soccer. Steve Wiss coming up here and Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.